Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are connecting from. To introduce myself, I'm Shashidhar, and I'm part of Citrix Ready team, leading the mobility ecosystem. And I would like to thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. And I would like to welcome you all to the Citrix Ready product webinar series for Unifyle. We have Srinivas Venkatraman, whom we know as Venki, who is the CEO and co-founder of Premidesk, and along with him, we have Brian Duckering, VP Marketing Premidesk, who will talk about Unifyle in a while. Brian, if you could move to the next slide. Thank you. So, talking about Citrix Ready, Citrix Ready is an end-to-end technology partner program that showcases and recommends third-party products, solutions, and services that demonstrate compatibility with Citrix products. Customers can quickly and easily find solutions recommended by Citrix in the Citrix Ready marketplace by navigating to citrixready.com/ready. For more information on the Citrix Ready program, you can always navigate to www.citrix.com/partnerprograms/citrixready. Next slide, please. Thank you. So Citrix Ready program has over 950 plus technology partners, and there are about 25,000 plus product verifications have been done, and there are about multiple online catalog page views as well hit every day. So Citrix Ready program identifies the solutions which are trusted to enhance the virtualization, networking, cloud computing solutions, and the mobility solutions as well. So before I hand this over to Brian, I would like to mention that if you have any questions during this webinar, please use the question panel on the right-hand side of the GoToWebinar tool, and we will take your questions in the Q&A session at the end. So without any further delay, please welcome Venki to begin today's presentation. Hey Venki, over to you.
Actually, this is Brian. I'm going to go ahead and get started here.
Okay,
I'm going to walk through a few slides and give you a nice overview of what Unifyle is, what problems it solves, and really give you a nice background so that when I turn this over to Venki, he's actually going to do a live demonstration and really go into more detail and some of the specific use cases that Unifyle is being used for today. So, so to get started, let's talk a little bit about the state of mobile access. The reason we're talking today really is because there's been a lot of changes and evolution in how people work. This is nothing new. People are working outside the office more often. They're working on multiple devices, and there's so many services, and both within your enterprise as well as in the cloud that people are using, that it's in some ways it's becoming easier because you can do some stuff from anywhere, but can you do everything you need to do? Can you be as productive as you can possibly be? So so let's take a look at what some of the challenges are today. So first of all, as people are working and moving around, they absolutely need access to their files. We're going to be focusing on the files part of the challenge today. So this shouldn't be surprising, but when you're out on your phone or your tablet or your laptop or anywhere else, you've got to have access to those files in order to be productive. And part of the challenge of this is that people are often outside the firewall. People are often on different devices, and the level of access, the types of functions that are traditionally available on different devices do vary. And it would be really nice if those were consistent, but they just aren't today. So that adds to this. And then the other thing about files is that files are literally everywhere. Files are just all over the place. There's certainly in some of the traditional locations in SharePoint, regular file shares, FTP, there's Samba, they're in all the traditional enterprise locations. And then of course, people in their personal lives have gotten used to cloud services, Dropbox, Box, SugarSync, Google Drive, and all these other things. So files are literally everywhere, and although each individual service has often tremendous capabilities, the fact that that you might have files in more than one of these adds a whole additional level of complexity, not just for the end user and their ability to find these files, to manage them, and to remember that I need to deal with files at this location in a different way than I deal with files in this location, but it also adds an additional challenge for enterprise IT to make sure that they're securing these files, because users in their attempt to get their jobs done, in their attempt to move on, to get their jobs done, they often have to move files from one place to another. So let's look at what the ideal way to solve some of these problems are. Ideally, you'd of course have secure anytime, anywhere access. That's pretty obvious. We hear that all the time. While we're providing this anywhere access, we absolutely need to make sure that the data, the files, remain secure. That's very critical. And then ideally, we want to be able to add some of these nice cloud-like functions that people are getting used to in their personal lives. The mobile access, the dragging and dropping, the touch enabling. And then, of course, because files are in multiple locations, if we could actually have a single portal to find all of these things, that would be outstanding. And then finally, every company has existing security, authentication, network control, not to mention some of the productivity solutions that may be back in their, in their data centers. So we don't want to replace any of this. We don't want people to have to set up or overhaul anything. We want to just leverage what's already there and make this as simple as possible. So that's ideal. So let's talk about what Unifyle is. Unifyle actually sprang out of a consumer product that was designed to make consumers' lives easier. Consumers were finding that they had multiple mail systems, multiple photo sharing, variety of other things. So we solved that problem at PrimaDesk for them. And now what we've done is we've taken that core technology to apply to these problems specifically with files. Now we recognize that there's these additional requirements on enterprise that we need to have centralized control. We need to have policies, etc. So let's take a look at what we've got today. So the situation today is we're accessing from a variety of different devices, and we're trying to access, for the most part, traditional file stores. We're trying to, when we're outside the firewall, certainly we're connecting from all these different devices. Mobile devices often have trouble. Right? We need VPNs, etc. Sometimes we'll set up private clouds to try and help this, but that doesn't always help either. So what you wind up with is files in different places, so you have no ability to search across different file sources. It's difficult to share things. Sometimes you have to move them to another location in order to do the sharing, and mobile access can be very difficult. So your users find themselves thinking, well, why isn't this as easy as in my personal life? Why don't we just use Dropbox? So here's how we've solved this. So Unifyle installs on premises. Okay, so it installs in the same place where most of your files already are. And then and then it connects into your authentication system, so people don't have to change how they're accessing. They don't have to remember, additional authentication. Now, when they access their files, they go through Unifyle, and Unifyle brokers that access into all of these other file shares and file services. And this makes search and management far easier, because now, because you're accessing through a single point, you can search, and it'll search across everything. You don't have to remember where things are. And this includes content search as well. You can manage, drag and drop, share from anywhere. And then additionally, as we said, there's cloud services as well. So Unifyle allows us to easily connect those as well. And of course, this is policy-based, so the IT manager gets to decide if they want their users to be using Dropbox or other things. And they can control the access, who can access what, whether you can share, what needs to be encrypted, etc. So this is really simple and very powerful. One other thing I'll point out, certainly for this audience, a lot of people are using XenApp, right? So what Unifyle allows you to do from your mobile device through the Citrix receiver is once you find a file, it allows you to open in XenApp. And it'll actually open in XenApp, and any file, whether it's in SharePoint or any other location, will actually come directly to XenApp application. You can work with it remotely on your mobile device and then save it back to where it came from, keeping that file secure, and those documents never even have to leave the enterprise. Doesn't come down to the device. So that's a quick overview. Hopefully that gave you an idea of the kinds of things we can do. What I want to do now is turn this over to, oh, actually, hang on, right before we turn it over for the demo, let me just give you a quick overview of some of the various integrations we've done with different Citrix products. Of course, we are Works verified. We've got the mobile app to support this. This is the only solution that doesn't force you to move or migrate any files to achieve what we were just talking about. It does allow you to encrypt files, increasing the mobile security when you do decide to have them on your device. And then we can add virus scanning as an option as well. Zen Desktop, when you're working on Zen Desktop, we actually allow you to mount all of these services as folders. So in your Zen Desktop environment, you'll have a folder for SharePoint, a folder for Dropbox, a folder for other things. So you can work with your files natively as if they were directly on your device, but without having to sync, without having to actually copy or move those files anywhere. XenApp, we talked about this one, allows you to open files, work with them, and then save them back to the original location without bringing them to the device. And then Sharepoint, another great product. And what we allow you to do is work with your Sharepoint files as well as when you've got files in other locations. So you can drag and drop and include Sharepoint in this whole portal. So we've done all these integrations. Want to make sure you knew about that. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Venki. And he's going to actually walk you through a live demonstration and show you how all this works. We won't be able to hear Venki until he's unmuted, though.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Great.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about our product. So I'm going to do a demo from the mobile app as well as our web app. So I'll start with the mobile app. So here is Citrix Works, and I'm going to launch Unifyle inside Citrix Works. So you get all the secure.
One moment, Shashi, could you show Venki's screen, please?
Okay, so are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, let me start over. So I'm starting from the Citrix Works Home app. So we get all the benefit of the securities and policies of the XenMobile product. And when I launch our Unifyle product inside, you see all the different services you're connected to, actually also some of the recent documents and the favorite documents. So you can favorite files across all your different services, so you can see all the things you're working in one place. So here I have added multiple different services. This is for the demo. Hopefully you will not have this many different services. And you can also have multiple accounts from the same service and manage them in one place. So in your case, if you're in a marketing group, you might have a marketing account, and then you have your own personal account. So it looks like everything is in one place. One of the things Brian pointed out also, it looks like everything is in one place. It's a dashboard, but we do not move your files anywhere. Now you can search across all your different services. So let's say I don't remember all the details. I know there was a document that talked about pre-Mobilize search. So I search for pre-Mobilize search. And you will see that Unifyle finds the documents from multiple different services. Here you have Google and Box. So, and if you notice, many of these files have either Prima Desk or search in them. So that's, file name search. But if you go down that list, you see other files that do not have, for example, good CA good standing.pdf. This does not have Prima Desk or the word search in the file name. But if you open this file, and you will see that there is, so it opens, it gives you multiple options, pick any of these services to open your file, and inside you will find the word Prima Desk. So the reason I'm showing this is you don't have to remember the file name or where you put. It searches all the contents of all the documents so that for your employees it be much easier for them to do their work. If you look at your regular life, you always start with a search, right? You go to Google and start searching for things, and but when you come to working with your enterprise documents, you have to just dig through all different folders to find what you want. So once you found what you wanted, you can do multiple things. You can delete it, you can copy it to different places, you can favorite it, or you can share it with somebody from your group, right? So you found the file, now you're sharing it with Venki, and you can say, I want to share it forever or for 1 day or 1 week, so that after that week, the link automatically expires. Nobody will be able to access the file. You can protect it with the password so that even if somebody else gets a link, they will not be able to see it if they don't have this password, and you can send whatever the message you want to send to that person. So now, once you share that file, the person with whom you shared, they will get an email that says, okay, Venki shared a file with you, and if you want to view the file, this is where it is. And see, we don't send the password, but we alert the user, hey, there's a password set. You have to call the person and get the password so that you can view the file. So when they click on the link, we first ask them for a password, and once they enter the password, we show them the file. So here, if you look at it, they have no idea where the file came from, whether it is from Google or from your file share or Sharepoint. They have no clue, right? And they don't have to know, right? Because you just want them to look at the file, and you can keep editing the file, and they will keep seeing the latest version. So now, see, they're able to view the file that you shared with them. Now let's go back and look at other features. So you search the files, and and then you are able to work with the search results. Now I can go and look at my Sharepoint files directly from my mobile device as if everything is in one place. So now I'm also going to show you the actual Sharepoint. This is my Sharepoint account, and now I'm accessing it through Unifyle in the same way. So right, all these different folders are right here. Now I can go to, so I can pick a file like this file, and say I want to edit it, and it brings down the file So the users will be able to pick one of the approved applications and start editing this file. So let's say I want to edit this file. Say it's for webinar. And save this file. And get out of there. So the ability to work with files, no matter where you're working from, it's pretty important, and we make it extremely simple for them as if everything is in one place. So once I edited it, uploaded, if I go to my SharePoint, see here, it said this was about 44 minutes ago. Now if I refresh this view in SharePoint, it's going to tell me it was edited a few seconds ago, and if I open it in SharePoint itself, say this test for webinar is shown here. And I can do the same thing from my from my web app using Mac or PC, right? So you can, so I'm going to go to SharePoint folder. So this is the file we were editing, and I can say I want to edit this file. So again, see, just to show what we are doing, we are editing a file, from SharePoint directly using your mobile device or your Windows desktop. So you can say test for Citrix webinar. I'm going to save this and close the app. Now it's uploading back to SharePoint. Now, so I go to SharePoint and I look at this file again. It should say, test for Citrix webinar. See, the word Citrix is added. So it becomes extremely easy for your users to, work with their files, no matter where the files are. There's another thing you can do is you can, from your mobile phones, you can easily handle different attachments and stuff. So, for example, I'm going to open my Gmail. I'm working with my email, right? And somebody sent me an attachment. Okay, so I'm going to say I want to save this attachment to my SharePoint. So I'm using my mobile phone. I'm looking at an email, and I want to save the attachment to SharePoint. And I'm showing SharePoint because I can show you the SharePoint account also. But this is the same whether you want to save it to your file share, or you want to save it to FTP, or you want to save it to any of the cloud services. The process is exactly the same. So I say I want Unifyle to save this file to one of my accounts. So it says document is copied. Please go to the service and paste it. So I'm going to go to SharePoint and go to upload test, and I'm going to paste it here. So now if I go back to my SharePoint and go to the upload test folder, see, this one is just a few seconds ago. It was pasted here, so it was uploaded to my SharePoint account, again, directly from my mobile app. So now I can also delete a file. And so I want to show that this is not like we don't save a copy or whatever. It's all happening real time. So for example, I can say I want to delete this file. So I deleted it. Okay. Now when I go to SharePoint, and you see now we had 3 files, if I refresh my view, so it has only 2 files. So it's not, we don't like cache anything. It's all real time. You are directly working with your different accounts. Only thing is we make it extremely easy for you instead of logging into multiple different things, instead of going back and forth. You have one interface where your users can work with all their files no matter where it is, and they can search, they can edit, they can move things around, they can do everything that they would do. What it does is it introduces a lot of different services to your Windows file share. For example, Windows file share, you cannot share the files with outsider. Even with Sharepoint, you can only share files with people who are inside people who have accounts in Sharepoint. But by going through Unifyle, you are able to give all these features no matter what the storage service is, whether it is Samba file share, NFS, FTP, SharePoint, ShareBox, Dropbox, it doesn't matter. Okay, and you are okay. So this is something. Another important thing that Brian talked about is the ability. So if you have a Zen Desktop, right, you are giving people access to their desktop that's online. Now you can mount your Unifyle service as just another drive. In this case, I mounted my Unifyle account as a U drive, right? So now I'm able to access all my different files right from here. So I can go to my Sharepoint account and look at files. So you saw the demo, upload test, all those folders. So let's say I want to edit this file. So I can just double click on it as if it's locally available, and and it brings this file, and say, okay, I'll edited it and said Citrix Webinar, and I close that app. So the WebDAV interface is a little slower, so it just takes a few minutes. But ultimately you'll see that when you go to your Sharepoint account, see, it says this file was edited a few seconds ago, and the changes I made are there. So your users, so what the reason I'm highlighting this is your users do not have to change the way they are working. They already know how to use the file managers and how to do. All you have to do is mount this their Unifyle account here. Once you've done that, they can even basically open files directly from anywhere. So for example, if I want to open a file from Dropbox, I can go here, I can go to my U drive, I can go to my Dropbox account, okay, and say, okay, I want to open that file. So now it is going to bring the files directly from Dropbox, in this case directly from Dropbox, and you will be able to view it on your in this particular case, Zen Desktop environment, right? So see, I was able to open a file from Dropbox directly here. So and the file is not copied to your, you are not syncing and you are not keeping all your files in your Zen Desktop environment. You are accessing them on real time, okay? Does it make sense? I hope so. And another thing, we talked about integration with XenApp environment. So for example, I can access my Sharepoint account. So what I'm going to show here is I'm going to access my SharePoint, and I'm going to bring a file through my tablet. I'm going to access browse files in SharePoint and pick a file and edit it using this apps published as on Citrix XenApp, and then put it back here. So in this case, the file never comes down to the device, and and also you don't have to have any app to edit it on the device as long as you have the app published on Citrix XenApp. So I'm going to go to this test folder, and I'm going to pick this file. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not visible. So just let me go back and. So I'm on my SharePoint account. You see the familiar upload test and all those folders. I'm going to go to the test folder, and I'm click on the test file and say now I'm going to pick edit with XenApp. So now it's calling. Oops, sorry. Let me try this again. So what it is doing is now, well, it has to happen at least once in a, let me gonna quit out of all of this and come back. Just give me a minute. New file, SharePoint. Okay, let me try one more thing, and then I'm going to give up. And so I'm going to go to Citrix receiver directly and make sure. Oh, so I think there is a problem. The receiver connecting to our server. It says the application could not be started. Let me see. One more time. Let's say log off. Get out of there. So
That's proof that this is a live demo.
so okay, let's see. Let's hope it will connect and ask for my credentials. I think somebody is messing around with the XenApp server, looks like. Because here at this point, I'm not even in Unifyle. I'm just going directly to the Citrix receiver and trying to connect. For some reason, it's refusing to connect to the server. But just the same way I was able to bring down the file and edit it on this, you will be able to bring it down. Hopefully, you know, I'll be able to demo this a little later after we cover all other stuff. I'll try that again. It's still not connecting to the server for some reason. Okay, time to give up. And, sorry, I was not able to show the demo, but I think you get the idea that the same way I was able to edit it on the mobile app, I will be able to edit it on the Zen app also. Okay, that's pretty much it. Brian, do you see the other things that we want to cover?
No, I think you did a good job of covering you know, quite a bit of stuff. I think when we get to the Q&A here in a moment, you know, if you think of other things, we can always
yeah, maybe I'll show the admin dashboard really quick.
That's a good idea.
So you know, from an admin perspective, you know, you have some control and you know, more data. So it gives you more things about what's happening with your system. You know, people registered and people shared files and things like that. And it will also give you files about who downloaded a file, who uploaded, who deleted, all kinds of stuff. And you can also look at what are the different data sources that are on your system, and who is, how many people are using different things, how many people are using Dropbox, and you can look at, who is using Dropbox, and, and then you can also drill down to the user level. Before that, let me just show you. So you can add data sources like Windows file share, so that the users don't have to do that manually. So let's say you want to add the home folder for all the users who are Windows, Windows file share. So you can say, okay, say home folder, and you can give SMB colon, root path, and then say, we are documented all this. You can just say username. So once you do that, and then you can say add to all user account. Whenever a new user signs up or logs in, then they will be this home folder will be automatically added for them, so that and it will go to the right path, the username path, and then they'll start working on it right away. So they don't have to go in and add things themselves. And also you can look at every user, and you can control what they have. You can you can give them permission. For example, you can say this person can use Box but cannot share files from Box. Things like that. You'll be able to control at the user level a lot of different aspects. And you can also view reports on, active file shares, who are all sharing files, with whom were they sharing files, what files they're sharing, how many downloads were happening for all these files. So today, you don't have a lot of information on file sharing and whatever, even if it happens outside from your file shares or from Box, Dropbox. But doing this, it gives you a lot more control, a lot more information. Any questions? So you can configure, the Ldap configuration is pretty straightforward. We need a few different things, and you need a read-only admin for Ldap, and that's all you need to be able to set up your Ldap. Most of these things, like one of the important things is we connect to all these servers, but we never ask you for admin privileges to these servers, or we don't ask you to put something in these servers. What that means is that you are not changing the way these servers are set up. So we are not changing the permissions. So all the permissions that you already set up, they're all enforced automatically. You don't have to. This is one of the biggest difference between us and most of the other software is when you say, okay, I want to mobilize my, my file access, or I want to give people cloud-like services like sharing and synchronizing and all those things, immediately it becomes another huge project where you have to, move the file somewhere else. That means you are not only taking on the mobilization project, but you're also taking on file management project. Whereas with us, you just put our server and connect it, and the files are wherever they are. Now all of a sudden you are able to mobilize it, you are able to share the file, you are able to give all these features to the users, and it takes only an hour for you to install and configure Unifyle. And you are not touching the way things are working. And if people want to go directly here, they will be able to go directly. We don't change anything in those file servers. Okay, let me stop here, and then maybe based on questions, maybe we can do more demo.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the presentation. We'll switch to the Q&A screen, and then we'll let people start queuing those up. Let's see here. Let's make sure people are seeing the right screen here. Okay. All right. So thank you, Venki. That was really good. I think we covered a lot of material. It's obviously it's a very simple product to set up. Doesn't interfere with anything else, but clearly very powerful. There's a lot more that we could have shown. So at this point, what I'd like to do is go ahead, participants. If you have questions, go ahead and type those into your question box. We'll see those, and we've got enough time. We should be able to get to a number of those. So I'll give you a couple minutes to go ahead and enter those in. In the meantime, I'll kick this off with one of the most common questions we hear, especially from Citrix audiences, and I'll ask this of you, Venki, is could you explain more clearly how this is different from Sharepoint? Because I think from the outside view, it might seem like there's some of the same things happening.
So Sharepoint is more of an enterprise, secure file sharing and file syncing product. It's similar to Box, Dropbox, and other product. Only thing is it has, it was designed more for enterprise and secure vault, so it has more security features. But you have to get all the benefits of Sharepoint, you have to move the files to Sharepoint. And Sharepoint has a lot of components in the cloud. So many companies do not like even authentication to happen in the cloud. So in the ours is 100% on-premise. And we connect all the services, including Sharepoint. And if you have, so file servers, FTP, and Box, whatever else, then you can easily drag and drop files in and out of Sharepoint to these different services. So Sharepoint, you can consider it as another cloud service or another, enterprise file sync and share service. We are kind of a mega cloud, or we manage all those different services, files in those different services. Another thing is we have no storage, right? We use the storage that you already have and make it more efficient for you to use it. One of the things we can do, like unfortunately I couldn't show the demo, but we can pick a file from Sharepoint and you can edit it using apps published on XenApp, which cannot be done by any other service, including Sharepoint. Does it give a good idea? The differences.
Yeah, I think that was pretty clear.
Editing. One other thing is also mobile editing. Inside Sharepoint, you can edit it only using their own editor. But with us, we can, let you use the Word or Quick Office or WPS Office, any other file or services you might have, you can use them.
Okay, great. There's a question here about the security and what security measures we have in place. Obviously, we've mentioned sharing. Maybe you can tie that in together and give people a better idea of what we're doing there.
So there are several things we do. One is, everything is internal, everything is encrypted, so it's pretty secure. And we also leverage all the XenMobile, since we are fully integrated with XenMobile, all the security features like sandbox, remote wipe, all the different things you get out of XenMobile, and all of them automatically apply to our environment, right? Because we work inside the XenMobile, and on top of it, we have a feature. Can you show that screen with where we connect to all the different things? So recently, Box introduced a feature where it say you can hold the key, so you can store files in Box, but you can encrypt them using your own key, your own enterprise key. So we so that if when whatever is stored in the box is fully encrypted, even Box cannot see it. But the problem is, if you directly use what Box gives you, since Box cannot see the files, they cannot give you all the features that you would be interested in, file sharing, file syncing, file searching, right? What we have done is you can encrypt files no matter where it is, whether it is in Box or in your own file servers. You can encrypt it using Unifyle encryption. In this case, whenever you go through Unifyle, it will be all very seamless because we encrypt and decrypt as necessary. Whereas if you go directly to Box and try to open the file, it will not be you will not be able to open it because it's encrypted. So what it means is that you are able to get all the security features. This is why Box is giving you that feature, but at the same time, you are not your users are not losing the features like searching and sharing and all those things. And if you have multiple services, Dropbox, Box, and Sharepoint, you can encrypt them using the same key, and you don't have to manage this differently. Okay, so it becomes extremely flexible. And we are also implementing virus scanning feature, so that as files move in and out of these different services as they go through Unifyle, we will be able to scan the file and make sure there is no problem. So you don't have to depend, because you already have virus scanning, you bought it, and you can use that and keep the virus signatures updated. You don't have to depend on these vendors to secure your files.
Okay, good. Hey, here's a related question. This is about passwords and storing passwords. Obviously, we can log into Unifyle and get access to everything, but all these different sources do have passwords. How do we manage that? Where are those stored? Are those places where people can find them?
Right. No, all the information is stored in Unifyle, and inside your corporate firewall, it's all encrypted. So I don't know that you know the background. Me and my co-founder, Conrad, Conrad was a co-founder of a company called Ldap, Zone Alarm Personal Firewall, and I was a very early employee. That's where we both met. So it had 100 million users, was the premier firewall. And so we understand security, so this is completely encrypted multiple times and individually encrypted, so that even if somebody breaks one user's account, they have to repeat the entire process again for every account. And also, we do not store passwords if it is not necessary. For example, when you authenticate with SharePoint, Box, Dropbox, and all those things, we do it through OAuth. So when you do OAuth, we don't even see your username password. We take you to their website, you authenticate us, you give us permission, and then they give us a token, and that's what we store. And the token is useless if somebody else is trying to use it. So so we take all kinds of precautions to make sure that the information is safe. And so I'll also point out, when you look at our consumer website, we are the one of the very first applications who introduced in this field, multiple authentication, right off the bat. Even today, Dropbox, Box, and others don't have multiple authentication. So. And
then with some of the cloud services, we also use SAML, correct?
Yes, if you have internally, if you have SAML and you want us to, integrate with that, we can do.
Okay. Looks like we have time for about one more question. This one's about the search. Maybe we skimmed over this a little too quickly, but we do have the unified search. Could you talk a little bit more about how we do the search across these and provide results, the content search?
Right. So we have we use standard search algorithms, and we have two options, well, three options, where you can completely turn off search if you don't want it, or you can say I don't want to take a lot of bandwidth indexing files. Then you can say I want to do just file name search, or you can do full content search. When you do full content search, it is like any other search functionality. We index each document and and keep just the index and not store anything about the document. So, and we store a link to the documents. So when you search it, we immediately see that you can see the results, but then the document is still wherever it was. And when you want to open the document, when you want to share the document, then we provide a link to that document, and when somebody wants to download the file, then we will bring it from that service. We just try not to duplicate anything, not to restore our documents again in our server, so that it just makes it extremely simple and straightforward for you, and the storage is not too much, and the files are wherever they're supposed to be, and nothing changes from a user's perspective.
I think it might be useful also to point out the user context of the access and the sharing and the searching as well. I think that could be important for some people and their concerns.
Right. So that's a good point. What happens is if with other enterprise search product, they search all the files as an admin. And then you have to worry about, okay, you indexed all the files. I don't want every user to be able to search every file, right? The users should be able to search only the files that they have access to. So we take the opposite approach, which is we only index as a user. And if you are a user ABC, we impersonate that ABC, and we look at all the files that this user is able to access and index it under their name and keep it. So when they search it, the search is restricted to what they can see automatically. So you don't have to do anything special as an admin. You don't have to do anything special to restrict so that the users can search only their files.
Good.
All the things that we do are just based on what the user can do, and we impersonate the user, and that's how it works.
Good. Yeah, that was important. Okay, cool. Thanks, Venki. We are out of time. I want to point out this final screen here for any additional information that you want to learn. You can go to our website at www.unifyle.co. You can certainly email us. We also have a free online demo that you can try out for yourself. You'll get the whole user experience, and might find it useful for your own personal use as well. So try that at demo.primadesk.com. Again, we want to thank Citrix and the Ready team and all of you who've participated. We appreciate. Hopefully, this was valuable information for you. Thank you, Venki, and have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Venki. That was a wonderful webinar. So we will make this recording available on our website as well, and we will send out the communication. And if there are any unanswered questions, then we'll take those up offline, and then we will reply back to those. So once again, thank you all for attending today's webinar in the Citrix Ready product webinar series. This concludes our broadcast. Thank you.